Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
A new storm has formed in season number 4. It's a grand national tour that ends near the California shores. Home track heroes take on big league talent. OGs return while fresh meat joins the fold. In a competition where fortune only rewards the bold. So who's willing to knock off a few doors? It's about who wants it more. In 2024.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to rock.
Clapper goes 3-1 and passes several cars. Ryan Truex gets it done.
Matt Hoyland, he will celebrate here at Circuit of the Americas.
Foley comes out of the final corner to win.
Jordan Durasic will win this race.
Here they come across the line. Your race winner is going to be Matt Carey.
See, in the end, nobody really cares where you got your start. The only thing that matters is where you finish.
Brandon Slow looking to steal one. It's going to be a 3-wide finish here at Daytona as they cross the line. 4 wide to the finish. It's going to be the 94 of Robert Colgan at the line.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated, live from the virtual Pocono Raceway. I'm Taylor Burris. Alongside me is Sheldon Atkins and our amazing producer, Mr. Austin Derbyshire, as we get set to head off to the Tricky Triangle and also to kick off another special event here for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC, the RL Productions Bracket Brawl. That is right, 32 of the top drivers will do battle as they try to see who is the best of the best and also try to raise some money and awareness benefiting Connor's Cure, courtesy of RL Productions, and 2 more for Trooper as well. So this is going to be an exciting night to see who comes out on top in this brawl. And I got to say, Sheldon, this is going to be an exciting night here, but what could be some of our keys to victory when it comes to racing at the Tricky Triangle?
Well, first and foremost, these restarts are going to be absolutely wild from start to finish. You're going to have cars going all the way down to the inside wall trying to find spots on each other, and they've all got to funnel into one groove for turn 1. That could be cause of a lot of problems, but that could be cause of a lot of positions gained and lost. And these races they typically tend to come down to fuel saving. It's just, you've got so many laps that you can get out of these things where they run dry. Always a big key here. And then most importantly, you always got to hit your marks here. Yeah, you come out turn 1, you mess that corner up a little bit, you scrub a little bit of speed, get a little loose. You got a long time to think about it going down these long straightaways before you get to the next turn to try it all over again.
Absolutely. Well, tonight we're going to go ahead and pick some of our drivers that we're going to be keeping an eye on. For me, I'm going to go with someone who's going to be very big-time driver who's going to go for it. It's Jordan Durasic in that number 6. Keep an eye on him as he's also the number 1 contender. Sheldon?
Honestly, I don't know. I might have to change it up here. I think we'll go for Truex. He running tonight?
He is not running tonight, but
well, that's embarrassing.
Well, you know what? You did pick Robert Colgan before we started, so he's also a good one to keep an eye on in that outlier speed shop Toyota Camry, or Toyota Supra, I should say. And our producer, Austin Derbyshire, really picked the Grid Vision car Mustang of Chase Leahy. Those 3 drivers currently in the bracket challenge. Durasic is the number 1 split driver. Colgan, of course, is a little bit further back. He is currently the number 6 driver. And Chase Leahy, well, he is a little also in the mix as well, as he is the 24th seeded driver. So a 1, 6, and 24. We're happy to see who comes on and moves on to the next round. But here is your starting lineup. Jordan Durasic from Port Lavaca, Texas will be starting on the pole. Alongside him will be Christopher Tate from Decatur, Texas. It's a Texas front row. Gregory Shepsis will be starting in the row number 2 from Englishtown, New Jersey, alongside Noah Rainwater from Lincolnton, North Carolina. In row number 3, Annapolis, Maryland's TJ DeBlasi will start alongside New Egypt's New Jersey, Matt Garrett in 6th. Row 4 will see Montoursville, Pennsylvania's Thomas Kohick and Matthew Montgomery from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Rounding out your top 10 from Scottsville, Kentucky, it's Matt Cherry. Alongside him, Kyle Bartles. Moving on through the field here in the row number 6, it's Ryan Zunk and Matt Holmes from Howell, Michigan and Millbury, Ohio. Moving on down the field, it's Bo Condon alongside Rockford, Illinois' Andrew Olazewski in 14th. Row number 8, we will see, of course, the driver of Justin Clapper from Manhawkin, New Jersey, and Burlington, North Carolina's Chase Albright. Chase Leahy and Brandon Schumann will be starting in the 17th and 18th position, followed by the Roberts of Colgan and Walton. Moving on down the field here, Tristan Bruce, Todd Lee, and then Anthony Burleson, Damian Neeson, and Kyle Newkirk, your top 25. Field working their way up through the field and get themselves situated here. It's going to be exciting. 90 laps is tonight's race distance. 20 is the stage 1, 45 is stage 2. So a little bit of strategy we could see here as these drivers get themselves situated around the track here. Of course, the bracket brawl, $100 will go to the winner overall. And we will let you know who is paired up with who. It's Durasic and Grant who will go head-to-head in this race. That's the one that I picked for tonight's race, but I do not see Grant in the race. So go ahead and move Durasic over. Burleson and Koner will be one to watch. Anthony Burleson has got a little bit of work to do, but I do not see Koner, so we'll see how that plays out. DeBlasi and Cahart, Foley and Walton, Bruce Neeson. We're going to break out each of these drivers here, but it's no time to explain. The drivers are now entering the start zone. The Pine Gulf green flag is in the air. We're racing here in the Poconos as drivers already spanning out 3, 4, and 5 wide as they head off into turn number 1. Field now is trouble for Shepsis and a couple of other drivers. They're drifting through the middle of the corner as synchronized spinning all around and multiple drivers involved in a big one here at the Poconos and already under caution for the first time here tonight. Let's take a look here at the instant replay of what happened. A lot of drivers, Shepsis one of them, as they went into turn number 1. There you see Shepsis getting out of line. Montgomery, Rainwater, Durasic almost bit the dust, as several other drivers were trying to avoid the chaos that ensued coming out of turn number 1. I've never seen anything like that before, as we'll keep an eye and see. Here's a couple of other angles here. Shepsis, just lost it there, and we're going to see a lot of the air being taken off. And then there you saw Durasic almost biting the dust as well, as he was able to hold off Noah Rainwater, who tried to get around the outside but lost it. I have to say maybe 10 drivers made it through unscathed almost. So the field will line back up behind Christopher Tate, Jordan Durasic, Matt Garrett, Cherry. Shepsis was able to recover. He is now in the 5th position as he comes out of the track onto the track. So we'll take a quick look at how our drivers are doing here. Christopher Tate, who is one of the drivers who will be watching, well, he's going up against Chase Leahy, which is, of course, our producer Darby's pick here tonight. So that could be an upset race to keep an eye on if Christopher Tate or Chase Leahy work together and get themselves rolling. And then Durasic is going against Grant, which we've realized Grant is not here tonight. So that will give an automatic berth to Jordan Durasic. Burleson is going up against Koner. Koner I do not see in the race, so that will give Burleson an automatic berth to move on to the next round. In Group B, Matt Garrett is the driver who is going to be going up against Ryan Zunk. Garrett's in 4th, and then Ryan Zunk is in 9th. Tate and Leahy, which we touched on, 1st, and the driver of Leahy is in 10th position. A couple of other drivers we're going to keep an eye. Even though it is the first lap, we still want to touch on some of them. TJ DeBlasi, who was going up against Dominic Cahart. Foley and Walton are going head-to-head in Group C. Bruce and Neeson, along with Shepsis and Holmes, are going head-to-head in Group D. In the Thunder Conference, so there's 2 conferences, Lightning and Thunder, Matt Cherry is going up against Bartles, while Slew is going up against Schumann. Aaron and Tomlinson are going head-to-head with Olazewski and Albright battling in Group B. Group C will see Noah Rainwater and Thomas Kohick going head-to-head, while Montgomery and Bo Condon will go head-to-head in Group C. Colgan and Hoyland will go head-to-head in Group D, with Clapper and Lee being your final battle conferences here. Of course, the first race will be at the track of Pocono here. We'll move on to Bristol, North Wilkesboro, and then, of course, the final 4 will battle it out at Charlotte, to where we determine the champion at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Noah Rainwater did receive the penalty here as well, giving an EOL. Taking a look to see who else might have received it. It looks like a few others. I think that was due to the fact they did not want to cause issues for our drivers who are out on the track. But we're going to double them up here. And it will be Tate and Jurassic who will lead us to the green flag. Tate in his Twitch and Fortnite colors in his Chevrolet. It's a Chevrolet front row. So we'll see how this all plays out for our competitors here, and we'll try to keep track of some of our main competitors as far as where they are going to play out for this race. As the field gets themselves lined up, ready to go here, and hopefully we'll get some racing in. 4 laps are already on the board, so we're almost about a quarter distance through the first stage of tonight's race. Field now working their way down the back straightaway here. We will get started on lap number 5 for tonight's racing action. And we'll see how this all plays out. We do have one retirement. Noah Rainwater is out of the race. At least he's out of his car. He is trying to get some damage repaired. Damian Neeson also is one of those other drivers here. Rainwater and Damian Neeson. Let's see here. Rainwater's going up against Thomas Kohick, who's in 18th position. While Damian Neeson is going up against Tristan Bruce. So a tough break for them. They enter, a green flag is out, and we are back racing here once again up to the front of the field. Christopher Tate leads the charge heading into turn 1. Let's keep it a little bit cleaner going into 1, gentlemen, as they come out, and everyone will make it through down the Long Pond straightaway over into the tunnel turn. Everyone just trying to jockey for position, log some laps around the circuit here. Critical for them to in order as they come through the tunnel turn for the first time at full speed. So far, everyone's working their way through, but Jurassic falling back further and further through the field. He's now outside of the top 5 almost, holding on to 5th as he battles Matt Cherry side by side. Cherry will get the spot in the Extreme Graphics number 45 as the number 5 of Matt Holmes looks to his inside, can't quite make the pass as they work their way across the front straightaway, heading over back into turn 1. Drivers now work their way through. There's a little bit of separation. Tate, Shepsis, and Garrett, your top 3 at the moment. TJ DeBlasi holding on to the 4th spot as they try to negotiate out of turn number 1, heading down the Long Pond straightaway. And it's already looking pretty exciting for our competitors as they head down over here. But single file for the moment, not wanting to push the envelope as they come into the tunnel turn. Here's a battle. Burleson and Walton will go side by side for position. Close call. Burleson will try to complete the pass off turn number 2 and gathers it back up. Can't quite complete the pass as they drag race into turn number 3. Burleson gets over ahead as they enter into the corner. A little bit of give and take as Walton tries to fight back. This is a battle for P16 out of turn number 3. Couple of drivers now spanning out. There you see Chase Leahy, who's trying to see if he can get around a couple of drivers. That's Chase Albright to break into the top 10 as Ryan Zunk and Bo Condon battle for position. As those two will battle, Bo Condon trying to make sure he beats Matthew Montgomery, which so far that is happening for him as they work their way down. Chase Leahy does complete the pass on Chase Albright. They head off into the tunnel turn. Ooh, one driver a little squirrely. That's Robert Colgan and Tristan Bruce who are battling. Or is that Todd Lee? Nope, that's Tristan Bruce and Brandon Shootman right there battling for that 12th and 13th position as, ooh, big slide right there for Schumann. That's going to open up the door for Tristan Bruce as he comes around the outside with Todd Lee trying to push him forward as they head down the front straightaway. Great racing action here tonight as they work their way down into the corner of turn number 1. It's 3 wide almost as Schumann goes up the racetrack a little bit. Todd Lee will stay towards the bottom, but Tristan Bruce will split the difference between them as they come out of the corner as we pick up our race leader, Christopher Tate. Already has a 1 second advantage over Shepsis, who has moved up to P2. Great racing action here in tonight's race as they work their way down the short chute over towards turn number 3. Garrett under pressure from TJ DeBlasi. You're right on board with Shepsis as there you see right at the bottom. DeBlasi gets a great run trying to hug that barrier right there as Garrett gets into the wall. He has to gather it back up, but that's going to cost him valuable spots because here comes Cherry and Jurassic for the big run. Cherry will complete the pass on Matt Garrett. Good fighting action here as they work their way over into turn number 2 here down the Long Pond straightaway. And already drivers just trying to negotiate around the circuit here and seeing how this all plays out. Colgan now trying to get around Chase Albright for position. That's for the 11th spot. And already putting on a stellar run for performance as they come out of turn number 2. So we keep an eye on the action here and see how this will all play out with our competitors as we pick up the Twisted Tea Machine of Bartles, I think that was. And now the 20 of Kyle Newkirk. Keeping an eye on Kyle Newkirk. He is in a little bit of a spirited battle, as I do not see him in the playoffs, so I'm going to have to double check on a couple of things on that one. Yeah, Newkirk I do not see in the playoffs for tonight's race. As we pick up the field here and watch a little bit of battling between Montgomery, along with the drivers of Newkirk and the driver of Justin Clapper a little further behind. Thomas Kohick in the Rowdy Energy 04 machine. He's wanting to see if he can try to find his way to recover for Kohick. Of course, he is in a good fight, but the problem is it's with Noah Rainwater, which Noah Rainwater is behind him. So this could come down to just who is able to keep it on the racetrack and survive it as they come through. So field works their way around the circuit here. We're going to keep an eye on the action as we pick up TJ DeBlasi and Matt Cherry. Of course, both of those drivers are in different areas. DeBlasi is going up against K-Hart, while Matt Cherry is going up against Bartles. at this moment as we ride on board with the Grid Vision Ford Mustang of Chase Leahy, who's in a good fight for position. Leahy trying to work his way around and holding on to have a shot to move on to the next round, as Leahy has to fight another great drive as well as he works his way. He's going up against, though, Christopher Tate, so he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to have a chance to move on to the next round. Kyle Bartles there you see trying to work his way up further. He's one of those drivers who's been having a decent season since he's joined in the mid-season as he gets around Robert Walton in that number 95 Toyota. Of course, for Kyle Bartles, he has got a very tough fight as he's going head-to-head with Matt Cherry. Cherry is inside the top 5 right now, while Bartles is in 15, so he's got a little bit of work to do here. So he's got to make sure he can hold off and try to fight his way up through the field in order to have a good chance of moving on to the next round. As there you see Cherry holding on to position. TJ DeBlasi up there. Shepsis also in the mix. Shepsis going up against Holmes, of course. So Matt Holmes in 7th. Shepsis is in 2nd. So that's going to be a good fight to watch as well. Seven laps left to go here in stage number 1. Tate now starting to lose a little bit of time here as he is now about just around still a second. It's kind of plateaued as he gets a great run off turn number 1. Now DeBlasi though, and here comes Cherry. 3 wide battle for second. Could we see 4 wide as they head off into the tunnel turn? No, they're going to go 2 by 2, and Cherry will get the 2nd spot away, and Jurassic and Shepsis will still stay side by side for the 4th spot as here comes Matt Garrett with a head of steam.
They thought about it there. You don't want to take turn 2 here side by side, especially 3 and 4 wide.
Absolutely. This track here, you got to be so careful of where you set your car up. Oh, big hit,
right
though, for Shepsis.
It looks like he didn't do too much damage, though. I mean, it's going to hurt him all the way down the straightaway here, but I don't think he's opened a parachute on that thing quite yet.
Yeah, but that's still going to cause a little bit of issues, I have to say, though, for the handling. It's Sheldon.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We will
find
find
out. He hit it
out.
pretty square.
Yeah, he certainly did, so we'll keep an eye on that now as Jurassic looks to the inside, and he will complete the pass, move him up to P4 for the moment. Garrett's going to try to follow him, maybe as they enter into the tunnel turn, but so far no pass just yet. Garrett's being a little bit patient here as we are closing in. 6 laps left to go in stage number 1. There you see Tate. He's now stretched out to a 1.6 second lead and growing. Christopher Tate really showcasing some great speed right now. And with those drivers second on back battling, as here comes Garrett to the inside, he'll push Shepsis up the track and try to get that 4th spot away.
Oh, man, Tate is absolutely gone right now.
He certainly is, and he is starting to try to grow that lead even more as they head down into turn number 1. And I got to say, if you got the chance there, Sheldon, to see that lap 1, turn 1 caution, I mean, I've never seen in my time at Pocono that many cars losing it in the middle of turn 1.
I've seen it a few times, buddy, especially in the B car. You run as many B Open races as I have throughout the years. You see some stuff that you didn't think was possible.
Absolutely here, and as they work their way down through the short chute over to turn number 3, Jurassic has gotten around Matt Garrett, and he is trying to hold on and trying to find a way to get around TJ DeBlasi as Rainwater is back on pit road. Neeson is still on the racetrack, I believe, or is he out of the race? He is on track right now, so he is in that position, but still, he is in a tough spot for him as it's looking like he will not move on to the next round. He's going up against Tristan Bruce as we pick up Jordan Jurassic. Great run off turn number 1. He'll look to the inside of DeBlasi. Side-by-side battle for position for 3rd, and he will try to complete the pass heading off into turn number 2, into the tunnel turn, and clears them out of turn 2, and Garrett's going to try to follow and fill the gap right there, but could not just yet.
I thought that 78 was going to try and pull a crossover there out of 2.
He was trying indeed, and so far it could not make it work as they make the run through the middle of turn number 3. Garrett trying to push de Blasi up the track to see if he can get the spot away. They're going to drag race across the front straightaway, and Shepsis and Holmes right there in the catbird seat to watch the action as they head down the front straightaway, heading into turn number 1 as a lot of drivers pulling for Jurassic. Tristan Bruce, we want to hear from you out there in the chat. Let us know who you're pulling for as we watch Matt Garrett trying to find his way around TJ de Blasi. Field having a good run here as they head through the Long Pond straightaway into turn number 2, the tunnel turn. And so far, it's looking like it's going to work out for de Blasi. He will hold off Matt Garrett for the time being as they work their way down into turn number 3. Everyone now starting to space themselves out a little bit as we pick up the battle between Colgan, Bo Condon, and Chase Leahy. This is the battle for P8. Watching on here as several drivers try to jockey around for position here as we pick up Todd Lee, Tristan Bruce, and a few other drivers as, do we have a pit stop happening? Yes, Ryan Zunk coming down pit road here. Trying to make sure he beats the closure of pit road next time by. So could be a good strategy call, maybe I have to say, Sheldon, to maybe get ahead of the field when they all come down and he chooses to stay out.
Oh, yeah, you can pick up so many spots on pit road doing that. I mean, there's a reason why for years we saw that pretty much every race on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And they're going to continue to do that here as Zunk gets a little bit of fuel, and he will then rejoin the racetrack here. He will possibly go a lap down, though. That's going to be the big question right now. He did a 14.4-second pit stop, so going to be critical to see how this plays out as he has to now hold off a hard charging Christopher Tate before the end of the stage as pit road is closed for your drivers. And Christopher Tate will lead him off into turn 1. 1.5 seconds separates your top 2 as Jurassic's making a charge on Matt Cherry.
I mean, 14 seconds he came in and took tires there most likely, didn't he?
Yeah, I would have to say he did take tires with that 14-second stop.
Yeah, right now he's just being mindful of the gas, keeping a little bit of a gap there so he doesn't burn off his tires, and he should be all right.
Absolutely. So we'll keep an eye on that here, but it's safe to say he probably will not go a lap down before the end of the stage here as TJ de Blasi and Matt Garrett will battle for the 4th and 5th position. Also, we got a battle for the final spot in the top 10 for points. It is between the drivers of Chase Leahy. Nope, Chase Leahy has actually pulled the lead by 2 seconds, so he is safe. But Kyle Bartles and Todd Lee having a good fight with Tristan Bruce.
You know, one place I've always compared this track to, and people have always thought I was nuts for saying it, but doesn't it feel just like a big Phoenix?
A little bit, because I have to say with how the banking is a little bit similar. Like I considered like turn 1 to be almost like a smaller version or a larger version of turn 1 Phoenix.
Yeah, then you got the little kink, which, you know, I mean, obviously on Phoenix it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
And like turn 3, it's just this long sweeper, and no matter what you do, you never feel like you're in the racetrack at either place.
Exactly, and you feel like you're just in this long continuous sweep with a lot of the corners here, so it's pretty critical, and it does provide great racing here at Pocono, whether people agree or not, because one way or another, you're going to have a good fight as they come across the line here. This should be the end of stage number 1 as the caution for Connor's Cure comes out. And we're under caution for the second time here. First time for our stages. Christopher Tate, Matt Cherry, Jordan Jurassic, TJ de Blasi, Matt Garrett, Matt Holmes, Gregory Shepsis, Bo Condon, Robert Colgan, and Chase Leahy, your top 10 who will receive their points. And with that, we'll take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we'll have your pit stops as well as also the return of stage racing number 2 here for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated live on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Thunderclap iRacing series presented by TLC Incorporated. Of course, this caution is presented by Connor's Cure. Of course, if you would like to learn more about Connor's Cure, it is a great organization. They were also in a great partnership with the Mania Club, raising $5,000 before WrestleMania 40. And of course, we can still want to continue giving help to Connor's Cure for pediatric cancer. So please go visit them at connorscure.com for more information, and also join the fight to stop pediatric cancer. As we are under caution, Jurassic is your winner off of the pit road, but trouble for one driver, Mr. Christopher Tate, as he is towards the tail end of the field. And I believe I might know what that might have to be, and that might have to do something with possible speeding on pit road.
Oh, that's the last thing you want here.
It really is.
It is so hard to get past people here. That deficit's going to hurt in the long run.
It really is. So the question is going to be, how can you recover? Because we got to go to lap 45. So it's going to be about a 20-lap run for him in order to see how this will play off. And he has the speed, but the thing is, he's stuck in a lot of dirty air.
I mean, do we have another stage, or is this final?
This is the second stage, so we go to lap 45, and then 45 to 90 is the final stage.
Oh, you got second stage, just come in a little early, hope that nobody else tries to undercut it.
Absolutely.
That's your best bet. Ride for now.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye on the action here, and we will see how this all plays out. Fred, the pace car driver, will be making that hard left turn here momentarily. As we ride on board with Matt Cherry and see how this all plays out for our competitors here. And we get set to go racing into the restart zone at the Pine Golf green flag is in the hands. And they will head off into turn number 1, barreling, and green flag is out. Cherry and Jurassic lead the charge here as they see Cherry throws the block on Jurassic. De Blasi looks to the inside as they all head off into turn 1.
Oh man, we got De Blasi is hard loose there. That's going to hurt him down this back straightaway.
It really is. So they got to gather it back up and continue on with it, setting themselves up here as they see Jurassic holding off De Blasi and Holmes, who are going to go side by side for the 4th position and work their way through the tunnel. Turn 1 driver, that's Pocono, goes way up to the top of the racetrack.
This ain't Darlington. You're not going to find any momentum up there.
No, you're not. As they watch the action here, and we will see how this will happen. 2 by 2 through the middle of turn number 3, and as they work their way through, and it's going to be a close one, almost going to go 3 wide.
Oh, I think we're going to go 3. No, he thought better of it. That's what I get for thinking, man. Every time I do it, it don't work out.
You know, we're going to keep an eye on the action here as they work their way through, and it's going to be exciting to see how this all plays out as DeBlasi and Holmes will battle for that 4th spot. DeBlasi on the inside as they work their way through, and Holmes will clear this position on DeBlasi. As Condon and Shepsis battle for position. Condon, though, gets a little bit loose. This could open the door for Kyle Bartles as he tries to find the opening to the inside of Bo Condon. And here comes Chase Albright, who will give a little bit of a push to Condon in order to make sure he stays ahead in the 9th spot as Shepsis pulls away.
I'll tell you what did it. Oh, in the wall out of 3.
Couple of drivers, Montgomery as well as also the driver of Albright.
Yeah, that's real easy to do here. You get in somebody's tire tracks here, and if they kind of cook the corner a little too much, it feels like you just get caught in that pocket of air behind them, and it pulls you right up in there with it.
Yeah, looking at Shepsis, he just gets looser and looser when he goes into corner entry. I got to ask, Sheldon, with your experience racing these B Opens, what can you do as a driver to maybe help prevent getting so loose going into the corner? These are fixed setup races, of course, but, well, that's not one way to do it as you go right below that yellow line.
Well, the main thing that you can do is just try not to charge your entry so hard. Put a little bit of front brake in it. What you're probably seeing right now is he probably has the brake bias pulled back to the rear. Because these corners, it gets real tight on entry here. So you try to pull that brake to the back, but sometimes you can overstep that just a little bit and bring that back end around. Oh, we got a car in the wall on front straightaway here.
We do. Trying to pick up the number of that would have been Walton, who had some issues. He's now under pressure from Kohick and Burleson as they will go side by side heading off into turn number 1. Keeping an eye on the action, Kohick and Walton are having a good fight for position and looking to see how this will play out. Walton, of course, not in the same bracket battle with Kohick. Kohick's still trying to find his way, but he's currently beating Noah Rainwater. I want us to try to see if we can find a side-by-side battle for the position as Gregory Shepsis is around. Big issue here as Montgomery end over end.
He's still rolling.
He's still rolling. I lost count of how many rolls that was, but I believe the tunnel turn strikes again.
It is so easy to get out of shape there, and it is so easy for everybody to fall you right into your mistake there.
Oh, no, our producer's already let us know the gyro cam is coming into play. Shepsis, yeah, right there you see, and boom. Oh,
that's about the same hit Sadler took here back in 09.
Yeah, that's what I was getting, the same exact feeling on that one. That was a hard hit for both Shepsis and Montgomery.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tow.
Tow indeed. And we see Shepsis looking over a couple of things right quick. And yeah, no fast repairs. So this is
Yeah, it looks like you just clipped that apron there, and when you clip that apron, it completely messes the balance of the car up. You start dumping air into the splitter, and it just pulls you around.
Yeah, I just was watching that angle right there from Montgomery, and it was like, oh, that just. Hopefully he's not in a motion rig.
Yeah, somebody check, make sure he's okay. I feel like we should have put an Applebee's commercial in the middle of that flip, though.
Hey, worked indeed.
Little Talladega Nights there.
Yep, there you see, and then, boom. I thought for a second with the new damage model that tire went flying off as well, but it stayed on.
I actually don't think I've ever seen a flip here, so that might be a first.
Oh, no. Here we go on the gyro cam. I hope you aren't squeamish there, Sheldon. Watch here as he contact.
Oh my God! I feel like a pair of shoes in the washing machine.
Oh. Oh, that made my eyes go a little crazy right there, I have to say. As our producer is going to continue to punish us, as we will go one more time in the cockpit.
As he just comes out, you can't see anything going on in front of you, then boom, next thing you know, there's a car right there.
Yep.
You know when you see the door number, you're in trouble down the back straightaway here.
Exactly. You are in big trouble. Not as bad as compared to the gyro cam.
Yeah, that was significantly better. Let's retire the gyro for these, eh?
Yeah, for these types of flips, yes, please do.
Could you imagine gyro in VR?
No. I don't even want to be in VR for anything like that.
It'd be amazing.
I don't know. I don't get motion sickness, but that would probably make me a little woozy after. Well, Matthew Montgomery has disconnected, so he is out. Our first retirement. And with that, Matthew Montgomery being out of the race, checking to see who he was going up against. He was going up against Bo Condon, so that will automatically move Bo Condon into the next round, the round of 16. So he will move on to the next round, and it will be an exciting one to see how that will play out. He's now got to figure out who he's going up against, Thomas Kohick or Noah Rainwater. Currently, right now, Kohick is looking to take that spot. One of the cool things, I mean, it started last year when Denny Hamlin made a comment about doing a bracket challenge mid-season as the lights are off on the pace car as we go back racing momentarily. And really, that whole idea has started to blossom really well. We're starting to see that more and more, in not just the racing world and NASCAR possibly, but also here in the virtual world. This is a phenomenal idea. It's something to bring a little fun to the drivers, also get a chance to win $100 as well. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see how this all plays out when we head to Worldwide Technology Raceway later on in the season. Who will win that $100?
Now, do we have new faces up here at the front? Is that what I'm seeing?
We do. Chase Albright and Robert Colgan are at the front of the field. Looking over them.
Yeah. Yeah. The pick that I made that I almost ditched and I think still have. Yeah.
Yep, you still have him. That worked out well for you so far. TJ de Blasi's third, Kyle Barlow's fourth, Matt Cherry's fifth, with Jordan Durasic, Garrett, Chase Leahy, as well as all with Matt Garrett, Tristan Bruce, and Matt Holmes rounds out the top 10.
Look, I've always had faith in that man.
Hey, Robert Colgan is one heck of a wheelman when it comes to racing. He knows how to get around these tracks. He's put on some great performances this season. As we see Chase Albright seeing if he can have a good start to pick up the moves and see if he can have a shot to punch his way into the playoffs later on in the season. Field now works their way through turn number 3 here. Fred, the pace car driver, will make that hard left turn down onto pit road. As we watch the action here and get themselves sorted, a couple of drivers are straggling behind. That's Walton and another driver. Green flag is out, presented by Pine Gulf, and we are back racing. Chase Albright gets a great jump on the field. TJ de Blasi will follow suit as they come barreling down into turn 1. TJ de Blasi tries to look to the inside. He wants to lead this race. Albright shuts the door on him.
Yeah, Albright's making some good moves up there. We got 3 wide coming out of turn 1 here.
4 wide as Matt Holmes.
You don't do that.
No, you don't. Matt Holmes nearly bit the inside wall as we're 3 wide heading into the tunnel turn. Can we keep it clean? Garrett and Bruce Durasic backs out as here comes Christopher Tate working his way up through the field.
Sorry, I just paused there for a second. I just had a lot of PTSD to 3 wide moves in turn 2.
I completely understand on that matter. So as we watch the drivers here, currently we are on board with Christopher Tate as he slices and dices his way back up to the race lead. He's already about to pass Matt Garrett for the 7th position, and it's only been 1 lap under green flag conditions.
Oh, yeah, he's out here flying, man. But being on those fresher, the fresher tires and those guys up there on the point, it's going to pay off here. This This place, it doesn't feel like the tires wear at any point. You just get slower, if that makes any sense.
A little bit, yes, that does make sense. And you feel like you're trying to just see if you can carry more and more speed into the corner. But when you're going through these corners, you feel like you're just going in slow motion. And then you just seem like you carry enough to work your way and continue on. It's a matter of just throttle control as we watch TJ DeBlasi complete the pass to new race leader. But Albright's trying to fight his way back around the outside. But DeBlasi will hold on and maintain the lead here as they come across the line.
That was a good charge there. There's not a whole lot you can do on the outside line here when somebody ducks a nose on you. You just kind of along for the ride and hope you don't lose 4 or 5 spots when it happens.
Absolutely here as we watch on this battle for position as they head up into turn number 1. And already Cherry and Colgan, they want to get around Chase Albright for position. So they're going to go 3 wide almost heading into the final turn.
They like pushing that nuclear button, don't they?
They certainly do, and it's okay. Sheldon, we're in a safe place right now. You're not in the car. That's all I can tell you.
Look, dude, I just know if we flip again, I get the gyro cam.
Yeah, well, me and you both, unfortunately. So
I'm
as
dreading
we watch it, and me too, as Kyle Bartles, Todd Lee, and Brandon Schumann are going to battle for position. Schumann will complete almost the pass on the driver of Todd Lee. It's hard to tell those two apart. Yeah, I mean, they're almost identical paint schemes. Maybe different sponsors, but those are almost identical paint schemes with those two cars.
Up here, it almost looks like the Starcom cars that Half ran there for a bit.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, Starcom is still racing in IMSA nowadays, but as we watch Bo Condon, Burleson, and Justin Clapper almost hit the outside wall, so they will go side by side for position as Bo Condon and the RL Productions will clear the Connors Cure Chevrolet of Justin Clapper.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, man. You gotta avoid making too many mistakes coming out of these corners. You make just the slightest step of the car, just the slightest bit. That whole straightaway, you are down for power. You're not getting it back.
No, you are not. You are in big trouble indeed here, as you got to be so careful of where you put the power down coming off these corners. As Condon will complete the pass, he will now move up to P14 as Jurassic will get around Albright for the 8th spot. Keeping an eye on the action here is Jurassic and Zunk. How about for Zunk right there? He is trying to work his way up through the field. And Ryan, with that strategy call, yes, he came down pit road last time by under this previous caution, but he's now inside the top 10 instead of outside the top 10. Keep an eye on this here as Chase Leahy will now work his way. Look to the inside of Chase Albright. Not going to work this time. As here comes Todd Lee and Brandon Schumann. Almost thinking about going 3 wide as they head off into turn 1.
Yeah, right now he's going to pull the side draft back. Going to try and get him scored up just a little bit before they get into turn 1 here. Try to get a little bit of momentum gained here. It looks like he's finally got side draft on him. He's going to back out of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit smart. I have to say, you want to try to get those stage points. I agree, but we still have plenty of laps, a lot of time still to go. It's all about managing how it is. I say that.
Huge charge up on the top.
He just
slick the stamp and send it.
Well, he's going to try to see if he can send it into the tunnel turn. That's Todd Lee looking to the inside. Chase will throw the block as they go to the inside of Albright coming out of the tunnel turn.
Yeah, I think Mr. Leahy's going to get him down here into 3. Absolutely, he will.
Yeah, Leahy will complete
Beautiful
the pass.
Oh, slide loose, 3 wide. Man, that got pretty crazy.
That certainly did. I was surprised for sure that Albright was about to just nail that outside wall, gather it back up, and Todd Lee and Brandon Schumann, well, they're going to keep on racing.
It's like looking at a beer between those two back there, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm like, which one is which? Speaking of beverages, there is Twisted Tea Machine of the driver of Kyle Bartles. He's inside the 5th position.
Oh, we got a big move down to the bottom. Huge block. Coming into turn 2.
That was impressive right there. As here comes Cherry on DeBlasi side by side. Battle for the race lead coming up as Cherry is trying to get to the inside. Colgan to the inside of Bruce. Bartles is going to push him forward to see if he can get the spot.
They're going to run tight here coming out of turn 3, I think. Ah, man, they just equalized out down there. I think the 21's going to get the run going into 1 here.
Yeah, he's got that outside momentum to keep him going here. Bartles is trying to push Colgan to see if they can work their way past, but so far it's not going to work as Bruce sends it around the outside.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. There's that pothole right there in the center of 1. You hit that, you're going up about 2 lanes.
You certainly are as we watch. Ooh, big issue right there for the race lead as de Blasi looked like got a little bit loose. This opens the door for Matt Cherry to set something up into the tunnel turn side by side. Who's going to be the bravest one? And Cherry sends it in. And can we see de Blasi cross him over? He gets a good run off corner exit. He's going to look to the inside, side by side, heading into turn
Huge side draft. They're bumping here.
Oh, they're bumping indeed. I'm surprised that they didn't send each other around right there as they come to the middle of turn number 3. De Blasi trying to fight his way on the inside, makes almost some contact right there with Matt Cherry, but slides back into second.
Yeah, we're getting aggressive. You can see how much these stage points mean to these guys here. We're getting closer in that pay window.
We certainly are. We're about 6 laps away from the end of stage number 2 here, and as they work their way around the circuit, Bruce, Colgan, Christopher Tate trying to get around the outside and get back into the top 5 as he completes the pass on Bartles. Then you got Jurassic and Garrett battling for position in the 7th spot.
It's crazy, man, how Tamek got there for the longest time, and now everywhere you look, they're side by side or running into each other.
They're just getting closer and closer as Tate almost makes contact. Tate really pushing the envelope, trying to get around Tristan Bruce as he will get to the bottom of the racetrack in that number 30. And you know, a tough heartbreak on social media. Christopher Tate was looking forward to making his debut in the ARCA Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Unfortunately, will not be able to compete, but hopefully we'll see him racing in the ARCA Series sometime later in 2024 because he certainly does have the talent.
I mean, that happens. That's happened to a lot of guys throughout the years, and a lot of them tend to bounce back from it. So, hey, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You got this, man.
He certainly does here, and as we watch on here, everyone now going single file, everyone minding their P's and Q's before they probably make a mad dash to the finish here as Bo Condon looks to the inside. I believe that's Schumann right there. Nope, Todd Lee, actually. This is the battle for P11.
I don't know if it's going to be much of a battle here. He just blew right by him.
He certainly did here as they work their way through. As Robert Walton, we pick up him in the 66 machine. He's going up against Foley, which I do not see Foley racing here tonight, so move Walton to the next round. Now he's just got to figure out if he's going up against de Blasi.
Oh, that was a huge block.
That was a huge block right there.
Man, these guys are getting it now.
Absolutely. So we're going to...
I thought I was watching the Indy 500 there for a second.
Hey, I mean, with how these drivers going, I mean, I know we don't race the Indy cars here at Pocono in the real life anymore, but this is some phenomenal racing that these drivers are putting on in these Xfinity cars as Ryan Zunk's falling further back into the 10th position, now outside the top 10. As Matt Cherry, your race leader, trying to hold off the hard chargers of Colgan, Tate, and de Blasi, as Tate is really coming down and barreling down on him. He was 0.2 of a second faster last time by compared to all of your drivers ahead of him.
I think Tate's going to at least, knock off another spot or two here before we throw the green checkers on this.
Absolutely.
He's just been flying through this back, man.
How about Cherry going right against the inside wall? Oh!
It's line up.
That was almost bad.
He about sent that thing off into the wall.
He certainly did, and sent Colgan into the wall almost as well, as that was a close call indeed.
No, we got one in the fence.
One car in the fence. That could have been either Zunk or Holmes. It looks like they're okay. They're going to keep on racing.
But I think that was just... you go into the corner, you're flying, and the guy in front of you throws out a parachute a little bit early.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll see how this all plays out as they will try to gather it back up. Only about 3 laps left to go here, coming to 2 to go in stage number 2 as we ride on board with Matt Cherry. Watch this. Does he go back down to the end of the inside wall or not? No, he's going to stay up against the outside wall this time. trying to break the draft if he can, though he's got a little bit of a gap, but Colgan's trying to push de Blasi closer. 2 laps left to go in stage number 2.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this thing winds up here. Because I think de Blasi might be trying to save a little bit of tire, try to cool him down so he can make one final charge on the white here.
Absolutely. He is trying everything he can in this moment to go and have a shot of maybe getting a stage win tonight as they come through the tunnel turn once again. As they work their way to the short chute, it's going to be critical to see who can get the better run. And Robert Colgan get a great run off the tunnel turn. He's going to see if he can look to the inside to send it to the inside of TJ de Blasi.
Yeah, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be able to get enough momentum up off here though. De Blasi ran that high arc in, try and pull himself down the straightaway just a little bit faster. So much set up again.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a little bit more something different here if he wants to have a shot at it here as they work their way down into the corner. And already some great racing action as they work their way through. Matt Garrett to the inside of Jurassic. He's going to try to pick up a 2-for-1 special as Bartles tried to make it clear, but could not get around Bartles' position.
Yeah, we're just at that point in the run now where it's just so hard to actually make a move. You've all worn everything out. It feels like most weeks here, everybody's worn them out equal. So,
yeah, so now it's just a matter of how this will play out as we are coming to the final lap. Tate will get the pass on Colgan for third, but Colgan's not happy about it. He wants to fight for it, and Tate's now wanting to go for second place here before the end of stage number 2. Out of turn number 3, Matt Cherry is going to win the stage, but how about this? Drag race to the line, de Blasi will get the stage second place as the caution comes out. It's Cherry, de Blasi, Christopher Tate, Robert Colgan, Tristan Bruce, Kyle Bartles, Jordan Jurassic, Matt Garrett, Chase Leahy, and then Todd Lee, your top 10. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have more racing action here for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC, live on Grid Vision.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
People ready to rock.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. If your lawn sprinkler controller is more than 5 years old, give us a shout today. We'll come out and take a look, give you an evaluation, get you set up for a new Wi-Fi enabled smart controller. We can monitor this from our office for you. Give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look. Let's upgrade your controller. It'll save you water. We can save you up to about, we're averaging 47 to 51% with our clients. Feedback we're hearing from us. So give us a shout today. We'll glad to come out and take a peek. Talk to you soon.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing series presented by TLC Incorporated, as we are under caution for the end of stage number 2. As the lights are out on lap number 50, we will come back around. 50 laps will be completed, so it'll be about a 40-lap dash to the finish. So just around the time we would see a fuel run. So Sheldon, I got to ask you, how would you want to do it? Would you split it up, pit around lap 20 to 25? That way you have enough fuel to make it to the end, maybe cover for a possible green-white checkered, or would you try to stretch it out as long as possible?
Well, honestly, with this race going green as much as it has, I'd kind of just try to get the undercut, get a little bit of position. Try to split it up around the middle. I'd be basing mainly on what, the guys immediately around me are doing. If they come in, one lap I come in, about 4 or 5 laps later, so I can have a little bit of advantage or try to get the jump on them.
Absolutely.
Just depends on how you're feeling on the tires, too, though.
That is true, so we'll have to keep an eye on that here and see who is able to take care of their tires, take care of their equipment, and make sure they have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Tell you what I'm excited for is we saw how hard these guys were fighting and how hard they were clawing just for a stage point. I can't wait to see what we're in for just for a race win.
Exactly. I'm really excited to see how this all plays out for our competitors here, and we're going to see how well they will be able to mind their P's and Q's, hopefully not bring out too many cautions in this stage of the race, as we're looking to see some great racing action. A little bit of trouble further back. Keep an eye on how the playoffs will look at the end of this bracket brawl, at the end of this race. I'll try to give you a little bit of info as we progress further and further into it. As they enter into the restart zone, the Pine Gulf green flag should be in the air momentarily, and we're back racing here at the Poconos as they work their way across, heading into turn number 1. Matt Cherry will lead the charge as de Blasi falls further and further back. Christopher Tate, though, moves up to P2.
No, de Blasi got a really bad start there, it looks like, and he's just getting eaten up already.
He certainly is. Tristan
Now, the 21 got real loose there.
Ryan Zunk and a couple of other drivers. Hard contact into the wall, and for Ryan Zunk, I have to say that's not going to be a good thing for him.
No, 23 is crab walking right now pretty hard.
He certainly is, and this is going to be a tough one right now as we watch and see how this will play out on the replay. Oh, it looks like Schumann. And then Zunk might have hit that dip you were talking about, that bump in the middle of the corner. And then for the 24 of Damian Neeson, he is going to make contact with him.
Some pretty hard hits there.
Very hard hits indeed as we ride on board with Ryan Zunk as he tried to overcorrect it a little bit and then just bang into the outside wall. More contact, a little more from Neeson, as that will cause some big issues for him there. So under caution for the... Go ahead.
No, it's so easy to do, especially with the fixed setup. Because you kind of get up there, you see, you get up into the gray a little bit, and it snaps right around on you. There's not much you can do once you get up there.
No, there is not a whole lot you can do, and unfortunately for Ryan Zunk, it's not going to be a good thing for him, because looking over for Ryan Zunk, he's going up against Matt Garrett. So unless something happens to Garrett, Ryan Zunk is in big trouble of being eliminated. Take a look at the weather right now. It's currently a little bit cool up here in Pennsylvania. 68 degrees is the air temperature, and right around 99 to 100 for the track temperature, so it's a little bit sticky out there on the track. The drivers are having a pretty good time. The tires, I have to say, are holding up pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, we got a lot of grip in this bad boy right now.
We certainly do, so we're going to...
Looks like we got some guys coming down to pit.
Yep, Colgan's
topping
coming
off
down.
on fuel.
Yep, just a little bit of top off, which is going to be beneficial for him, as he can stretch it out a little bit longer than some of our other competitors who choose not to pit. As the lights are off on the pace car, we're about to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, that right there, Colgan, that's a good position to be in. You can kind of choose your own fate with this, especially if you're in the middle of the pack.
A couple of other cars did come down pit road. It looks like Olazewski, Schumann, Bo Condon, and a couple of others just to top off with fuel. And make sure some of them putting some fresh tires on as well. So we'll see how this will play out for them as they rejoin the racetrack.
Do we have limits here? Tire?
See how this all plays out for our competitors. As a couple of other cars, that's Olazewski, who decided to come down pit road as well. Top off with fuel and some tires as they turn the lights back on the pace car.
Getting awful cloudy out here right now. I'm sure that track time's going to come down.
Well, we know for sure that rain will not be a factor, unfortunately, which is well known for racing here at Pocono.
I was going to say, that's kind of unrealistic. We should have at least 3 storms going on right now.
Exactly. I have to agree with you on that one.
Still remember that year that Busher won here when they had that giant fog bank roll in.
Oh, my goodness. And that, how about that? He has 2 different things as far as historically for him. He wins a race due to fog, and then he also loses the closest finish in NASCAR history.
I think he's going to make a little more, though, based on how RFK has been running.
Absolutely. They are on a stellar run so far this year, as far as probably one of the best running Ford teams this season. As our producer is saying, it's a conspiracy theory and that the line was crooked and he should have won the race.
So, Darby, was the laser crooked too? Starting to sound like somebody we were on a team with at one point. Oh, he said the laser wasn't on the track, so he refuses to believe it. Oh, you couldn't see the start finish line in that picture of the laser.
So now the truth comes out.
So are we saying that NASCAR is staged? 3 stages, yes.
Oh, goodness me. Our producer, of course, for those of you who are familiar, he is also not just a producer, but also a little bit of a commentator when he likes to dabble or if certain things arise.
And a masterful comedian at all times.
Oh, yes. He is our sarcastic comedian at every single chance.
He puts he puts Edstrom to shame.
Yes, he does. Because, see, Edstrom, when he does his comedy routines, it's more of... I don't know how to put it. How would you put it, Sheldon, as far as for Edstrom?
Edstrom is... He's that feral, completely unhinged frat boy that you just want to get away from at the bar at all times.
I agree. And then Darby just makes those quick and calculated responses, quick-witted, and make sure he gets the point across, and it's hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, Darby's like a Matt Kenseth when it comes to that.
He is. He got that dry sense of humor. He can't quit because he owns the company.
Oh, we just missed the restart.
We just did miss the restart as the Pine Gold green flag is back out. Matt Cherry takes the race lead, but here comes Christopher Tate, though, on the outside, and they're going to drag race off turn number 1. How about Tristan Bruce? He's looking to slide up in front of the driver of TJ DeBlasi for the 3rd spot.
Yeah, right now Christopher Tate's leading him right down the back straightaway in turn 2. What a massive... Like, that's the first time we've seen the outside line move this entire race on a restart.
Absolutely, and
that is awesome.
It is absolutely amazing as they come through the tunnel turn. Matt Holmes trying to get a good run on Matt Garrett as Garrett goes down to the bottom of the racetrack. Great racing action all the way around as they work their way through. How about Robert Walton? He's trying to break into the top 10 as he gets around Chase Albright
in the
for
wall.
11th. Oh, that's going to cause some issues.
Oh, that was a huge hit.
That was a commentator's curse if I've ever seen one.
It's okay. I normally do it, so it's your turn this week.
It is my turn this week for the Tyler Truex Racing number 66. As Justin Clapper trying to work his way through, and Chase Albright hits the outside wall coming down the Long Pond straightaway.
And right now, DeBlasi's making a huge move to the bottom into turn 2. I think he's definitely going to get it here. I'm pretty sure, and I spoke too soon. No, he got it. I need to stop second-guessing myself here, guys.
You just got to call it and go for it.
I went through every emotion there. We got a yellow.
No, Robert Colgan. And Shepsis. Shepsis severe damage to the nose of his Ford Mustang, and Colgan's trying to...
No, he's got heavy suspension damage here.
Oh, yeah, look at that. His toe is completely knocked out.
That thing's killed.
Oh, just making contact with Robert Walton. Walton saves it, and then...
No, there's
what
nothing.
That was a hit.
There's nothing you can do in turn 2. If somebody gets slooped around like that, you just kind of pray they find their way out of yours.
Colgan's just bouncing his way into the pit box right now as we ride on board with Shepsis.
Yeah, he got unsteady there on that little bit of apron that he grabbed, and it just pulled him right into him. It's a terrible way to end the night for both those guys.
Very much so as they catch up to the field here, and Colgan, I think it's safe to say, along with Shepsis, will be out of the race for sure.
Yeah, thanks for picking them, guys.
Meanwhile, Christopher Tate will be your new race leader. Matt Cherry will be in second. TJ DeBlasi, Tristan Bruce, Kyle Bartles, your top 5 at the moment. So we've seen some exciting racing all this week here as we get ready for Throwback Week in Darlington, as we see who's going to come down pit road. Well, your front 4 are, so they're going to top off with fuel, make sure they have enough to make it to the end. And it looks like a lot of other drivers decided to stay out. Yeah, everyone on the lead lap did come down pit road as Gregory Shepsis and Kyle Newkirk are out of the race. Robert Colgan is trying to fix the damage.
I'm pretty sure. Can they make it from here? It's been a while since I ran Pocono.
They're coming up on about 33 laps. If they save some more fuel, that probably gives them at least a lap or two extra. Some 30 laps, they could possibly make
Oh, they
it.
could definitely. Yeah, you can save a lot here, especially under the yellows. Like these guys can just shut the motor off, kick it neutral, and roll around on the apron for, save about a lap or two.
Well, with that, let's take a look at our schedule for this coming week here as they work their way up through this week here at Darlington Raceway for our weekly shows on Monday and Friday. Of course, our last show will be Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time for the Darlington race for the NASCAR Cup cars, as they will do battle at the Lady in Black. Sheldon, I hope you brought your best suit and tux for the Lady in Black, as we're about to go out on a nice dance with her Friday night for the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split event. Of course, if you're interested in joining us here on the Grid Vision Network, make sure to go reach out to us on all our social media platforms. And we have opening nights on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, as well as also openings for commentators to join myself and Sheldon and Austin Edstrom and many more great drivers and members of the Grid Vision families, as well as also, as we see drivers coming down pit road to top off with fuel, as well as also maybe join the producing ranks and help out with our great producer Austin Derbyshire, as we see
Our fearless leader.
Our fearless leader, indeed, as he's some drivers come down to top off the field, but Chase Albright, Bo Condon, Jordan Jurassic, Thomas Kohick, and it looks like one more driver, Matt Cherry, decided to stay out. So your top 5 now has changed a little bit. We'll see how this will all play out for them.
Yeah, right now these guys are just trying to make sure they have everything they need to make it to the end. Because you can save a lot of fuel here, but it's a lot better to just have it all in the tank before you launch. It's I don't know how the strategy's going to work out on this. I mean, imagine it's going to go straight through to the end.
I would hope so, indeed, here as we see the lights out. So when they come around here, it'll be about 31 laps to go.
Based on how aggressive we've been, I think the over/under on another caution's pretty. I think it's pretty likely.
I have to agree with you on that.
Oh, we get another lap of yellow to figure it out.
Yep, we'll get it sorted out here hopefully pretty soon and figure out what the situation will be for our drivers. As they do that here, we'll give a big shout out to some of the amazing partners that are a part of the Thunderclap iRacing series, starting off with TLC Incorporated, which is the premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, and drainage solutions in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Transform your home into a showcase in just one day with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, energy-efficient outdoor lighting, or the healthiest backyards in the business. A little lawn goes a long way with TLC. Head over to tlcincorporated.com for more information. Also tonight, we have to talk about one other amazing organization, and that is RL Productions. RL Productions is a video marketing agency specializing in digital advertising and event solutions. RL Production offers custom brand strategies tailored to your organization's unique goals with in-house level attention to detail for digital and broadcast advertising. Their production professionals offer start-to-finish event services for your conference, convention, or events, from staging and lighting to live show productions and complete presentation. Visit rlproductioncrew.com to turn your company goals into real-life productions. Field now works their way over to set them. Who was that who called out Sheldon right there?
Hey, thanks. My name's
is
Sheldon, but you can call me anytime.
He is single, ladies. Oh, yep. Tim.
You beautiful too.
He is a beautiful person. We appreciate you for tuning in tonight here on Grid Vision. videos. We want to thank all of y'all for tuning in here on Grid Vision. Currently, we're at 671 subscribers here on Grid Vision. Let's see if we can try to get to 700 before the end of this month. That would be exciting to see, especially with it being the month of May here. We got a couple of big Indy events coming up here pretty soon as Fred, the pace car driver, makes the hard left turn down to the pit road. Green flag is out, presented by Pine Gulf, and we're back racing. And Chase Albright gets a great jump on the field as he will lead the charge heading off into turn number 1. Jurassic and Condon will battle for second as they go side by side, 2 by 2, several rows deep. Who can survive as they come out of 1?
I'm hoping the whole field, honestly. Here comes sorry about that. Jordan is going to get the run down the back straightaway, leading him into turn 2 in front of the 25, and a whole gaggle of cars behind him right now.
They certainly are trying to fight hard here for this race lead as they work their way through the tunnel turn. A lot of drivers just trying to jockey for position as Cherry gets a little bit loose as they come down the short chute over towards turn number 3. But Chase Albright putting a stellar drive up through the front of the field as here comes Jurassic with a head of steam.
Oh, we got trouble up here at the front. 49's ducking back down pit road.
Oh, Chase Albright. Big time strategy call. He feels like, oh.
I think that was a penalty, maybe.
Well, he was cleared of that black flag, but I wonder what could have caused that. It might have been for possible speeding, or I have no idea, but still a tough break for the driver of Chase Albright as he will come down to pit road. Jordan Jurassic will now be your new race leader. As Christopher Tate is putting the pressure on him to lead the charge here at Pocono as they head off into the tunnel turn. Great racing action amongst them as they work their way over into turn number 3.
Yeah, I think Christopher Tate's going to dive down here on the bottom going into turn 3. I don't know if he's going to be able to clear him here, but he's going to put the pressure to him, that's for sure. Now, Christopher Tate has done a masterful job of cutting through traffic. It seems like he's driving an entirely different race from the rest of these guys out here today.
Oh, look at the blocking we see right there by Jurassic as he's trying to throw the block to prevent Christopher Tate from getting to his inside. As though Tate, he's going to go to the top of the racetrack. Jurassic throws the block as they come barreling down into turn number 1. Tate goes a little bit too wide. This could open up the door for Jurassic, but Tate gets a great run off turn number 1 as they hit the Long Pond straightaway over to the tunnel turn.
Now, these two are fun to watch.
Absolutely. Fun racing action among some of your best of the best competitors here in the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated as they work their way through, heading off in towards some great racing action as they go side by side for the race lead, heading off into turn number 3.
Oh, no contest. Christopher Tate's just going to send it down in there and just about clear him almost. Oh, he got him. He cleared himself. Christopher Tate is your new race leader down here as we go to the start-finish line.
He will take over that race lead here as they work their way through the middle of the corner. Great racing action as they come down across the line here, heading off into turn number 1. Tate will lead the charge.
No, he's just flying. Looking to build that gap coming out of 1 here.
Absolutely amazing run indeed as they come through the middle of the corner. And so far, as we have a little bit of battling further back between Thomas Kohick, TJ DeBlasi, Matt Holmes, and it looks like to be Schumann. Nope, that's Todd Lee as they go through the tunnel turn. Holmes, though, will shut the door in front of Chase as they try to gather it up and jockey around for position. This here is the battle for 7th position as Chase will go to the top, Kohick to the bottom, and Holmes will shut the door.
Man, Chase took one wide arc there into turn 3. I didn't think he was going to make that stick.
I didn't think so either.
Look how much ground he gained on those guys.
Absolutely, as the field will work their way down across the front straightaway here and heading off into turn number 1. Chase is trying to work that outside lane as best he can in the 8th spot. Matt Holmes trying to hold strong as TJ DeBlasi gets a good run, and we pick up Kohick and then Olazewski. He's been kind of quiet tonight so far, but he's now about to break into the top 10.
Oh, we got a car on the wall in turn 2.
Ooh, one car is in the wall. Could not catch the number of that one, but he's able to keep on racing. As Cherry and Garrett trying to close in on this battle for the race lead here. We're about to have 4 cars battling for the number 1 spot.
And based on what we've seen how these guys earlier in the race, I think this is going to be a heater here.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very fun battle for the race lead here as they work their way around and continue to battle for position as they come back into turn number 1.
Staggering out, you can see the 6 car. I cannot pronounce his name. I'm sorry. You can see the 6 car is just trying different lines, trying to figure out how to get a run on that 30 of Tate to try and get up to him just to get by him.
He's trying. That is Jordan Durasic, your race, or he's in second position right now, trying to hunt down Christopher Tate, but so far not working in his favor at the moment as we ride on board with Durasic for the position, and he gets a good run through the middle, but Tate just gets that power off corner exit so well.
Oh, yeah, Tate's just been doing an incredible job out here. He's got that thing hooked up. It looks like he's done about 500 laps practice before he even stepped into this thing today.
Absolutely, and he is just showcasing the field here as they come across the start-finish line. And so far, it's working out for him, but Garrett and Cherry are going to battle for that 3rd spot as well, as Cherry gets a little bit too wide. This opens the door for Garrett, but Garrett can't get the run as well because he had the same issue as they come out of turn number 1.
Right now, you're just at that point where it's so hard to pass people. Everybody's so equal, and the air is just such a big factor here with these cars. And not as bad as the Cup cars, but you still feel it here. These big 2-mile tracks, it gets pretty tricky.
It really does, and now the thing is going to be how well can you manage that and your tire wear as they work through the corner, as Pocono, Matt Holmes, and Kyle Bartles throwing TJ DeBlasi all battle for that 5th spot as Pocono goes all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, Condon looked like he was loose just about all the way through that corner there.
He did. He gathered it back up, though, but he will lose multiple spots as he drops back to the 8th spot. With that, we're going to take our final commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more racing action for the closing 20 laps here at Pocono. You're watching Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series, presented by TLC Incorporated.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
People ready to rock.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there lived people who faced dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now, and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look, evaluate what you do have, tell you what you could have. Give us a shout today for all your outdoor lighting needs. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, Bob Carr with TLC. Spring's upon us. If you got a wet yard, it's not going to get any better. Now it's time to give us a call. Let us come out and take a look at your drainage problem in your property. We can get you a solution. The dogs, the kids, be tracking in mud. Mom will be mad. So give us a call. Give us a shout today. Talk to you soon.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Thank you, Bob, as we come back to the great racing action that we have here today as we watch the battles further on, as we're here for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. 20 laps left to go. It is Christopher Tate who holds a 0.8 of a second lead over Matt Cherry. Matt Garrett sits in third with Matt Holmes in fourth position. So it's the Matt, and Matt show inside the top 5 with Kyle Bartles rounding out the 5th spot. TJ DeBlasi, Jordan Durasic, as we watch Matt and Matt go side by side. If we can get Matt Holmes to go 3 wide, then we'll have 3 Matts side by side by side.
Matt cubed.
Matt cubed, indeed. Just like we have Joseph squared on our Monday and Friday night shows. Oh, come on, Kyle. You had to go and ruin the fun. We were trying to get Matt squared right, or Matt try right there. Cube right there.
Man, it's always a Kyle. Always a Kyle. He's coming over here with the Twisted T slap over here in turn 1.
Yes, he is, as he works his way through. As Chandler Smith giving a big shout out to Bruce over there, Tristan Bruce. Chandler, he's got a little bit of work to do. He's currently sitting 17th position, so I think you got to give him a little more attaboy to try to get him up further in the field, because he is definitely going to need it. Because looking over Tristan Bruce, he's got to beat, well, you know what? He's actually safe. He will move on to the next round because Damian Neeson was his competitor, and Damian Neeson is out of the race. So we'll go back onto the field as Olszewski will get around Bo Condon. See here, Bo Condon is going up against Montgomery, who's out of the race, and Olszewski is going against Chase Albright. Albright, of course, is 18th position, so he's about to be 1 lap down here momentarily. So he's got to be careful.
Now Here's a good question. Where did Kyle Bartles and Matt Garrett come from? Because like first half of the race, we saw them a little bit near the front, and they just kind of disappeared. Now here they are.
They certainly are, and they're putting on a stellar drive indeed. And Garrett, of course, was up with Holmes was like mid-pack, but with that strategy calls and possibly that pit stop, he was able to fight his way back up through the field.
All right, now I think Matt Garrett's putting a lot of pressure on Tate here for the lead.
He really is, as they work their way down out of turn number 3. Tate trying as Matt Garrett. He is ready to make the pass in that MTV machine as they go side by side for the race lead. And here comes Garrett as he will look to the inside, and Tate will give it to him for the moment. Could be a little bit of fuel conservation, saving the tires, saving the fuel a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's right, because Christopher Tate stayed out there when everybody else came in to top off on that last stop, didn't he?
I believe he did last time around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we'll see how this plays out here as our drivers jockey around for position. But Matt Garrett now going to see if he can stretch out his race lead a little bit as Bartles and Holmes go side by side for third. Take a look at the pit strategy right here. Everyone pitted around the same time, pretty much, for the most part. So that's going to be critical to see how this all plays out. As looking over, TJ DeBlasi stayed out or pitted 2 laps later than everyone else ahead of him. So we'll
Tate has a mirror full of Twisted Tea right now.
He certainly does. As we ride on board with him there, you see the Twisted Tea machine of Kyle Bartles right behind him as you're on board with Christopher Tate. As he's trying to see if he can maintain that position over Bartles and Holmes.
Tate must be in fuel conservation mode because haven't seen a chink in his armor all night with how he's been running.
Yeah, he's really been a little bit more cautious of how to run this race compared to earlier on as they approach Robert Colgan to put him a lap down. So a little bit of issues that could possibly arise as Colgan will get out of harm's way. As we pick up Matt Garrett in that MTV machine as they head down across the front straightaway, heading off into turn 1. Garrett actually now stretched out to about an 8, now soon to be 9/10 of a second lead. Now a second lead over Christopher Tate.
Yeah, Garrett is not lifting for anything right now, that's for sure.
No, he's not, and he is being very strong with how he sets it up.
We got a car on the fence out of 1 here. Look like maybe 2 of them.
Keep on racing.
Yeah, but right now we're watching Matt Cherry and TJ DeBlasi. These two have been battling all night long, one way or another. As we go on board with Cherry, this is the battle for P6. Yes, we do, as Kyle Bartles gets around Christopher Tate for the second position. And now it's a three-car battle for that second spot. Jurassic right there in the catbird seat sits in fifth.
Oh, we got a car hard in the fence off of turn 3.
That's Justin Clapper. Justin Clapper saves it in the Connors Cure machine in the Mania Club Chevrolet as he is trying to gather it back up. Rainwater ahead of him. This for Justin Clapper in that 63 machine. He currently sits 14th.
How about he tore that thing up? It doesn't look too bad. I guess he hit it pretty square, but man, he hit a ton. Oh, there he goes again.
And he hits it again off of turn number 1. So he gathers it back up and will continue on racing as we pick up Matt Garrett as Matt Holmes got around Christopher Tate for that third position. Great racing action here in the closing stages of the race as they work their way through the middle of turn number 3. Matt Garrett and Matt Cherry trying to close down on your top 5. He's currently about a second and a half behind, making 1.6 seconds. He's got to make up on your top 5 drivers at the moment. Watching on here as we pick up a couple of other drivers as they work their way through, and Matt Holmes, Christopher Tate battling for that second spot. As we see Jurassic trying to work his way through in the 5th spot as he's trying to find the opening to move up a couple of more positions before the end of the race.
I need to stop looking at what's going on behind the front few cars because every time I look back there, it's chaos.
It really is. One way or another, drivers are just trying to struggle around here and get the runs that they need, and so far, it is not working for some. As another car hits the outside wall off turn number 3. That was Todd Lee right there, who gathers it back up as he tries to hunt down Thomas Kohick for position.
These guys are just absolutely sending it out here at this point in the race. Only got 10 laps to go. All you want to do is get forward.
Yeah, you just want to move forward and try to get as many as possible. As Bartles currently, this is going to be a big upset, I have to say, between the driver of Kyle Bartles along with Matt Cherry. If this ends the race how it is, Matt Cherry, your number 2 seed, will be beaten by your number 31 seeded driver, which will be incredible to see.
Hey, man, it doesn't matter where you start. It just matters where you finish.
It really is. So far, as they run, Jurassic automatically moves on. DeBlasi automatically moves on. Burleson automatically moves on. So it'll be Jurassic and Burleson at Bristol next week. DeBlasi, he is waiting to see who wins. Nope, Walton automatically moves on because Foley did not make it. So it'll be DeBlasi and Walton for the next round at Bristol. Garrett will move on ahead of beating Ryan Zunk. Christopher Tate, as they run, will beat Chase. So it'll be as
Garrett just slipped the wall a little bit coming out of turn 2.
Yeah. Well, the good news is Ryan Zunk is out of the race, so he will be able to beat and move on to the next round. The Tate-Leahy battle, that could be something to keep an eye on as well. Tate currently sits in 4th. Leahy is in 7th, trying to close in on this battle as we're now 11 laps left to go in the race. Tristan Bruce will move on after beating Damian Neeson. Shepsis and Holmes. Matt Holmes will move on to the next round. The number 12 seed got beat by the number 21 seed driver. Cherry and Bartle. As Matt Holmes moves. Oh, Christopher Tate almost hits the he hits the outside wall, almost eats into Matt Holmes right there. As Tate tries to come back around so far as we watch this battle for the second spot.
Yeah, if you're Tate right now, you have to be a little upset. You know, you felt like he had this thing locked up there for the longest time, and you know now here he is riding around battling for 3rd and 4th place, and just kind of trying to get everything back that you lost. But you only got
Yeah.
10 laps, less than 10 laps to go. There's not much you can do at this point,
No.
I think, anyway.
No, there is not. For a couple of other points, Slew is not in the race, so Schumann will move on. So it's just a matter of who will win the Cherry Bartle battle. Rainwater currently will not move on. Kohick will be beating Noah Rainwater. Condon will move on as well, so it'll be Kohick versus Condon heading into Bristol. Robert Colgan will move on, and looking like it's going to be a battle between Clapper and Lee. Todd Lee winning that battle so far. Aaron and Tomlinson. That one will have to probably be raced, see what happens another time, because neither Aaron nor Tomlinson are in tonight's race. And then Olazewski and Albright. That's going to be one to watch as well. Olazewski is 11th. Albright is 18th at the moment. Yes, so it will be however it goes from the next round. So when we head to Bristol, it'll be whoever wins these following rounds. So round, if, for example, for the next race, it will be Jurassic versus Burleson. So the number 1 seed versus the number 16 seed in the Lightning Cup.
Oh, we got contact here. Christopher Tate just got into the left side door of Holmes coming through turn 1. Sent Holmes right up the racetrack. Tate's going to get the spot here. He's going to clear him up for 3. Coming in 2, though, he's getting a little bit of pressure from behind from the 6 of... I tried.
You did good.
Okay, Jurassic. There we go. There we go. I found my Matt DiBenedetto.
Well, for Matt Garrett, he is starting to pull away further and further ahead of Kyle Bartles. Christopher Tate falling further into the clutches of Jordan Jurassic, and it's just tough break after tough break for him as they try to work their way through. And so far, no one is catching as we pick up a little further back as Thomas Kohick gets around TJ de Blasi for a position side by side, the battle for P9.
It looks like de Blasi's going to be able to fend him off here. Oh, they both get loose out of 1, though. That's going to shake it up a little bit. But, yeah, de Blasi's going to hold him off going down the Long Pond straightaway.
Yes, indeed.
And Kyle Bartles has knocked a substantial chunk into Garrett's lead here. They were sitting at about a second and a tenth for the longest time, and now he's got him down to 6/10.
Yeah, it's looking pretty close indeed here as he is trying to close the gap. The question is, does he have enough time as we ride on board with Kyle Bartles making the run? The gap is 0.6 of a second, and they almost ran identical lap times with Matt Garrett with a 56.26, Kyle Bartles at 56.30. He's got to make up a little more time if he wants to have a shot at this as they work their way around.
Yeah, what I'm seeing right now is it looks like Bartles is really good at getting into the entry, but it looks like he's hurting himself a little bit center off.
He seems to be struggling right there. Let's see how he does in the tunnel turn right here. Can he pick up any time through here? We see a lot of drivers able to gain time through here and lose time. Kind of balances out a little bit. No, he loses the 10th through the middle of the tunnel turn and losing.
That tunnel turn is one of the hardest places to make up time here because since you're pretty much as close to flat as you'll be at any point on the track, you get caught up in a little bit of that dirty air on your nose, but it's going to throw you back. It's like you're hitting a brick wall every time you try to get to somebody there.
Yeah, and you see a lot of aero advantage in some of these drivers. And lost 2 tenths that time. So Matt Garrett just maintaining the race lead as best he can right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a big mistake out of Matt Garrett for Bartles to go to get by.
Christopher Tate to the outside wall again. 5 laps to go for your race leaders, and Tate nearly eats it coming out of turn number 1.
Yeah, he's just kind of gotten into that, cycle of pushing a little bit too hard, going over that limit, just hurting himself here. It's so easy to do when you get late in these things. You kind of get in your own head and psych yourself out. And shame to see.
It is a shame to see, so hopefully he can recover as best that he can. So he's got a little bit of work to do as they work their way through, and Holmes will look to the inside of Tate side by side. Tate holds on for the moment, but Holmes gets a great run down the front straightaway, heading off into turn number 1. What will Holmes do? Will he try to complete the pass? Yes, sends it on deep. Tries to see if he can pull, but here comes Tate with a big run-off corner exit, but he's got to be careful. He may hit that outside wall coming off of turn number 1. Just barely skates by.
Did he just make the Larson line work at Pocono?
He just did.
Dude, what?
The
I didn't know that was possible.
Well, now you do know. I don't know. I wouldn't try it, but it worked.
Absolutely not. That's the most chewed up outside groove on the surface.
It really is, and you saw that here, but he was able to make it stick and make it work.
Yeah, Tate is not giving up.
No, he's not, and he is pushing the envelope here, trying to see if he can get a good run.
I don't know, Holmes is confused because I know I would be in that situation.
And Holmes is in a Kyle Larson car.
Yeah, right?
He's like, wait, I'm supposed to be doing stuff like that, not you.
Make it make sense, man. Got 3 to go.
We do have 3 laps to go, and so far everyone's just trying to work their way through as they head across the line. Olazewski is sitting in 14th position.
Bartles has knocked 3 tenths into that lead here in the last lap.
And so has Durasic. He's closing, and he's 3 tenths behind Kyle Bartles and closing as well.
I swear, if we get another photo finish tonight, after what we saw Monday night and Sunday night, I might just pass out.
As the field works their way across the line, Durasic gets a great run. He's trying to close the gap as well. Let's see if he can get around Kyle Bartles for that second position.
He's going to get a huge charge here out of 1.
Oh.
As he backed that thing up. Beautiful diamond. Here he comes down the back straightaway to the bumper of Bartles. Looking low. I'm pretty sure he's going to get at least even with him going into turn 2, and then he'll probably clear him through 2. Depending on how hard Bartles is willing to fight on the outside, that is, because we did just see the wall work. Oh, he's got him clear. Absolutely.
Yeah, he is clear, and he is charging up through the field. Half a second, 1.5 laps to go, but Bartles crosses him over as he will have the inside advantage heading into turn 3.
I don't know what he's going to be able to do, though, because I think Bartles burned his tires up trying to get up there to the leader. And it looks like he's going to get cleared by Durasic here.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
White
the white flag in the air, presented by RL Productions as they head off into turn number 1. Matt Garrett has a half a second lead over Durasic. Will Bartles work with Durasic to close the gap, or will it be a smooth sail victory for Matt Garrett?
Well, you see Durasic gets another beautifully put together run down the back straightaway. He's going to reel that leader back into what I think is going to be about 3 tenths coming into turn 2.
It is about 3 tenths as they head off into the tunnel turn for the final time here. Let's see what Durasic can do as they come through the tunnel turn. Look at the speed he's trying to gain. It's under 3 tenths of a second as they head off into turn number 3 for the final time. It is Garrett, Durasic, and Bartles. What can Durasic do as they come through the middle of turn number 3? He tries to go around the outside to get the big momentum on his side, but it's not going to be enough. Garrett tries to throw one. Slows the field as he crosses the line. Durasic will win.
The leader was out of fuel.
That is the race right there. And as timing catches up and shows us the results, Jordan Durasic wins by just under half a second over Kyle Bartles. Let's take a look at the replay here. Matt Garrett just sputtering right there where he starts running out of fuel. No, this is the final lap. Sorry about that.
Oh, that was amazing.
Watching this here, coming out of turn number 3, I think right about there is where the car
right there.
Yep. He throws the block. Durasic just goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Bartles as well, and he takes home the victory. And Mr. Darby, if you don't mind adding another tally to my win counter, indeed, for the season. Jordan Durasic will be your Grid Vision winner here tonight. As of course, we are excited to see the action as he will come around and burn it down in that Twitch TV and Fortnite Chevrolet. Everyone excited in the chat. Yes, indeed, we just saw another great finish. 2 great finishes on Great Division that me and Sheldon were able to see. We had the tie practically at Darlington in the B car, and of course this great finish here coming to the line.
And the question is, does he have enough to do a burnout?
You should have enough. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll give you your full field rundown as well as also your interview with your top three. You are watching Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series live here on Grid Vision. Welcome back to Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. It is Jordan Jurassic who wins by just under half a second over Kyle Bartles. Matt Garrett comes sputtering to the line to come home third with Christopher Tate, Matt Holmes, Chase Lee, and Thomas Kohik, your top 7. Bo Condon, TJ DeBlasi, Todd Lee, your top 10.
In 11th place, we have Anthony Burleson, followed in 12th by Andrew Ozwowski. Followed by him in 13th place is Justin Clapper and Robert Walton. Brandon Schumann, Chase Albright, Tristan Bruce, Matt Cherry. 19th place, Robert Colgan. And Noah Rainwater rounds out your top 20.
21st will be Kyle Newkirk, Ryan Zunk 22nd, Damian Neeson 23rd, Gregory Sheps is 24th, and Matthew Montgomery also will finish in 25th position. As we get a chance to talk to some of our top 3 finishers, we will start with Mr. Matt Garrett as he joins us up here in the booth. Give him a quick second. Matt Garrett, this is Taylor up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Talk to us. When did that fuel start to sputter right there and you realized it wasn't going to happen for you here tonight?
The middle of the corner. I saw the 6 jump out there, and I really wasn't worried about it because he sent it in so hard. I had checked the fuel about 3 laps before that, maybe 4, and I was good to go by about 4/10. Apparently ran her a little hard there late.
Well, the good news is, though, Matt, you do move on to the next round for the, of course, the RO Productions Bracket Brawl, beating Ryan Zunk. So a little bit of good news for you, I have to say, even though you didn't get the win tonight.
Sure, maybe I can win a gift certificate for some fuel.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
The whole TTR team, especially Robbie Walton. We did a lot of testing and figured a lot of stuff out. I'm sure you'll see a few of our members back later. You know, as you know, this is racing season. Everybody's busy. Thank every sponsor that supports TLC. Thank you guys. You do a wonderful job with the broadcast.
Absolutely. That is Matt Garrett moving on into 3rd position, as well as moving on to the next round in the bracket brawl as he beat Ryan Zunk. Next up, coming up here to join us, is 2nd place finisher Kyle Bartles, and he is with Mr. Sheldon Atkins.
Kyle, what an incredible kind of come from behind run that you had there at the end. Looked a little bit like the closer there for a bit. What exactly did you need? You know, seeing that the win ended up just coming down to who was in P2 when later ran out of fuel. What exactly did you need to just hold that spot off?
Yeah, I didn't know Garrett was that close on fuel. Kind of wished I raced Jordan there a little bit harder for a second. My tires were cooked though. 40 laps on these Goodyear tires here at Pocono. It's a killer. I mean, my tires were 56 and 84 there after 40 laps, so that right front was pretty shot. So I really had not much for them. I was more surprised that Garrett was going to run out of fuel there, coming out of 3, and I was like, oh shoot, I might get second. So second yet again, 2 weeks in a row. But I'll take this one. Wasn't really a contender up there. It was more of a Matt Kenseth kind of style race for me, coming from the back to the front. Didn't really have the greatest qualifying. So.
Well, you ran it clean, and I do have a good feeling that you're part of the reason why Garrett ran out of fuel on that last lap, because you were putting the pressure on him there for about 20 laps straight, just inching into his lead a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I was trying to catch him, and then he just tried to pull away, and that explains it. He had to push a little bit because I was trying to catch him, but no. Proud of the guys, proud of mid-pack I'm alliance with, Robert, TJ, Clapper. Built a pretty good setup for this one, and had a good strategy. Just kind of fell through when tires were unlimited at the last second, so my strategy kind of went out the window for a long run, but actually kind of paid off there at the end with stage 3, no cautions, or 1 caution we had, correct? But anyways, I had a longer run car, but not as good as Jordan. The faster car won today, fortunately, and unfortunately for Gary, he ran out of fuel, but he got P3. So.
One quick thing also, Kyle, before we let you go, you put the biggest upset of the night, beating Matt Cherry in the bracket brawl. You're moving on to the next round, going up against Schumann. I mean, could we see a big upset where you could be the one who could win it all?
I mean, I was trying to say something to Discord, like I'm probably gonna be upset. I feel pretty hot right now. Not even sure where we're at next week. I was talking to Jordan, we were talking, and I got pulled up here, and but I'll definitely be practicing for sure. I'm ready for it. I don't have anything else to fight for. I don't have a fight for the playoffs since I started late in the season, so this is gonna be get enough confidence to go for the next.
Well, you're heading off to Bristol next week. Give you a little heads up there.
All right.
Get him with the old twisted T slap, man.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Sounds good, guys.
That is Kyle Bartles, who comes home second place, as we now get the chance to talk to our race winner, Jordan Durasic. Jordan, pretty exciting night for you so far, coming home with the checker flag, as well as moving on to the next round of the bracket brawl.
That was just an insane finish. I hope the fans love that. That was, I didn't think that would happen coming off of turn 3. I had swiped his bumper a little bit, and thankfully I don't think he wrecked, but that was just an insane race. We had trouble managing in probably about the top 10 throughout the race. We just couldn't really manage our way through traffic, so we got not as long of a run as we had there in the last 30 laps, and that really showed our strength. But our Straps 23 Fortnite Twitch Chevy Camaro really showed out tonight, and I want to thank everybody from the JCR group.
Absolutely, a stellar drive for you guys indeed, and of course we look forward to seeing you at the next round at Bristol, as you will be going up against Mr. Anthony Burleson at Bristol. So number 1 seed against the number 16 seed.
Yeah, that would be a fun one. Bristol's action-packed. We got the win there last year in the same series, same track, and hoping we can go back-to-back there. And proud of our JCR team coming home with our 3rd win tonight.
Absolutely. Jordan Durasic, your race winner here as we come to a close. Sheldon, final thoughts as we get ready to go for more racing action and get ready for Bristol next week.
That was just a phenomenal race from start to finish. These guys put on one heck of a show.
Absolutely. Well, for the entire Grid Vision team, for our producer, Austin Derbyshire, my co-commentator, Sheldon Atkins, I'm Taylor Burris. Thank you for tuning in to this week's action of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated, and we'll see you Friday night as we head to the Lady in Black at Darlington, and then here back again next Wednesday as we head to the last great Coliseum. It's Bristol, baby, next time on Thunderclap.